What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So a few days ago, some new evil hero support just got announced, and apparently it's really good. I mean, that's the reason why I'm making a video on it, because I had no idea how to play this deck. As a matter of fact, this is one of the trickiest decks I have ever had the pleasure of playing with. It's very difficult to play, but also very difficult to build. There are just way too many options. As a matter of fact, the hero deck is the archetype with the most amount of support in the whole game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which makes sense because it includes what, like Vision Hero, Elemental Hero, Destiny Hero, Evil Hero. It just got even more consistent, and I think there are some lines to kind of beat Nibiru depending on how you play. But yeah, this video will show you guys my take on the hero deck. This is, again, off of my personal testing and experience with hero as a non-hero player. So if you guys have any feedback or any suggestions or anything, let us all know in the comment section below. I would really appreciate that. And with that being said, let's get into combo number 1 out of 3. And of course, I will be showing the deck profile at the very end. Oh, and if it wasn't obvious enough already, if this video can get 1,000 likes, I will be making a spreadsheet video on this deck. Yes, this will be a total pain for me, but the suffering will be worth it at the end. Anyways, let's get into combo number 1. All I have is Fusion Destiny. Look at what you can do. But yeah, send the Malicious, and you can send the Evil Hero Infernal Rider. I mean, it's a decent card. And then summon Malicious, go into Cross Crusader, revive back the DPE, and then banish the Malicious, and then summon another Malicious. I am pretty sure this is Nibiru proof, because if your opponent nibs you, then you can just chain DPE, destroy yourself, and then the DPE comes back on the next standby phase, so it's not like the end of the world. So that's one of the main reasons why I play Fusion Destiny, just because it's like a one-card combo that does so much on its own. Although, again, you can argue that so many cards in a hero do that. Anyways, I will now be going into the Cross Crusader to search the this card right here, the Evil Hero Doom Prison, and this card is kind of like a Prisma, but a little better, because you can foolish for any hero monster from your deck to the grave, and then it can be substituted for any hero fusion material, which is kind of insane. So we're going to be sending the Shadow Mist, which searches the Dusted Gold, and then we can discard that in order to search the Dark Fusion. And at this point, we can use the Dark Fusion in order to summon Evil Hero Neos Lord. And yeah, this card is an interruption on the opponent's turn. And also, we can banish the Evil Hero Infernal Rider and 4 other monsters from the grave to set Super Polymerization. But the issue is that until the end of the opponent's turn, we can only summon hero monsters, so we can't use this to make like a Garura or Mud Dragon. So yeah, if your opponent plays hero, then the Super Poly is going to be really insane. But yeah, DPE is a pop, obviously, and then we also have the Evil Hero Neos Lord, which can steal a monster our opponent controls permanently whenever either this card is special summoned, or if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard while this card is in the monster zone. So yeah, not too bad, especially for like a very simple one-card combo. And also, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects or battle, and during the turn it was summoned, it also cannot be targeted by card effects. So again, very good option going second. Yeah, again, very simple bread and butter one-card combo. Let's get into combo number 2 now. Alright, so in this one, I have Elemental Hero Stratos as well as Vision Hero Ferris. It's not redundant because when you already have the Ferris, then the Stratos can search something else like Malicious, which is probably the best discard fodder for the Ferris. And then that always places the increase, and then increase tributes anything to summon the Vion from the deck. And then the Vion will be sending the Sinister Necrom, banish any hero monster from the grave except obviously the Necrom, search Polymerization, and then link off 2 monsters for the extra hero Infernal Devicer. This card, you can reveal a hero fusion monster in your extra deck, and add up to 2 fusion materials whose name are specifically listed on that card with different names from your deck to your hand. So we can reveal that Supreme King monster, and then search the Elemental Hero Neos. Now we're going to be banishing a Malicious to summon another Malicious. By the way, we linked off for the extra hero Wonder Driver. This will come up now because we can go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so reset back the Polymerization face down, and with the Sunrise, we can search Miracle Fusion from deck to hand. And yeah, Miracle Fusion, everybody knows what it does. It's a very old card. It's pretty much Overload Fusion before Overload Fusion, I think. Yeah, Malicious, summon another Malicious, because yes, it's a 3. That's kind of crazy. And then Polymerization for the DPE, and then Miracle Fusion for Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Banish the Sinister Necrom, summon the Infernal Rider, which searches your Dark Fusion, and then activate Dark Fusion, fuse for the Dark Knight, and then Infernal Rider banish, set your Super Poly, and then DPE destroy your Wake Up and itself, and then Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so get back the DPE, and Wake Up summons a warrior monster from the deck, so we can summon that Shadow Mist, which searches your Mass Change. So yeah, you always have access to Dark Law with your engine, which is really cool. You don't have to rely on Hero Lives in order to summon Mass Change, Shadow Mist to search Mass Change that way. No, yeah, every path leads to Rome. And by the way, all of your opponent's monsters will basically have 0 attack because of both Dark Knight and DPE. So yeah, a lot of interruptions here, and we also search a follow-up because of Mass Change into Dark Law, and this is also somewhat resilient to Dark Ruler, and that Dark Claw basically can never get hit by the Forbidden Droplet, simply because any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead, of Droplet obviously has to send to the graveyard as a cost. This board is pretty resilient for the most part, but it can still lose to things like evenly matched, and obviously Nibiru really is insane against hero. Okay, so in this hand, I'm basically just playing it out at random. My hand has Fusion Destiny, Vion, Ferris, Liquid Soldier, and whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Ferris will be pitching the Vion because I don't really want to normal summon that. I'd rather special summon it with the increase into the Vion that way, and then I can use its effect to send the Doom Prison because I have a monster reborn in the form of Liquid Soldier, so I can just use that in order to revive it back. And this is another kind of like Vion monster. It's a Foolish Burial, so it does a lot. And I can recover from a nib if I get nibbed here, just because I can go Fusion Destiny, summon DPE, and at least have a little bit of something. I can make Plasma and DPE, just with one card pretty much. But yeah, go for the Sunrise, search Miracle Fusion, link off into Infernal Devicer, which again searches Elemental Hero Neos, or if you want to, you can also search Avion and Burstinatrix, because there is one monster that mentions both. It's not this one, there we go, Infernal Backlash. And yeah, link off for the Wonder Driver, and then summon your Flame Wingman Infernal Rage off of Miracle Fusion. You need 2 Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes, so we're banishing the Liquid Soldier and the Sunrise, and yeah, we're gonna be resetting back that Miracle Fusion, and then Sinister Necrom, summon the Infernal Hero Infernal Rider, searches the Dark Fusion, and then Dark Fusion right away for Neos Lord, using Neos and Infernal Rage. So yeah, that's interruption number 1, and then Miracle Fusion is gonna banish your fusion monster and any other hero monster. Doesn't really matter too much. Summon your Wake Up Elemental Hero, and we're obviously not even close to being done, because now we can go Fusion Destiny, send Malicious, and whatever else. Doesn't really matter too much. Summon the DPE, and then Malicious, summon another Malicious, go into Cross Crusader, revive back a Denier, and then put back a Malicious in your deck. This is not super relevant. If you don't want to play Denier, then you can still do everything that I'm doing right now. Cross Crusader, revive back the Destiny Hero monster that you just revived, search the Plasma, Malicious again, and then Tribute 3 for Plasma. This is not a Tribute summon, by the way, it's a special summon. So yeah, even if you already had to use your normal summon, it's completely fine. Banish 5 monsters, including itself, I guess, for Infernal Rider, set your Super Poly. And then you can either choose to respect Nibiru a lot by using the effect of DPE on end phase, or you can use it right away, destroy your Wake Up your Elemental Hero, and then trigger obviously Chilling 1, Chilling 2, summon your Shadow Mist from the deck, and then DPE will come back. Shadow Mist can search the Mass Change. This plays a little harder into nib if you do it on main phase 1, because if you get nibbed, you're not gonna have anything, because the DPE will not be able to successfully destroy anything. But if you try to do it on end phase, so if you call end of main phase and your opponent chains nib, well, it goes for Chainlink 1 nib, then you can go Chainlink 2 DPE, destroy your Wake Up, and then everything just still works on the resolution. You still lose your Plasma and your Neos Lord, but it's really not the end of the world. So Nibiru doesn't really do too much if you respect it, but if you do respect it and you do everything on end phase, then you're gonna have to use the Mass Change right away on end phase, because you won't be able to set it, obviously, since you're searching it on end phase, and because of that, you won't be able to get a search on your opponent's turn, and you also lose really hard to Dark Rulers. So it's kind of like a pick your poison kind of thing. It depends on if your opponent plays Nibiru or not, or if you think that he has it. It's I don't know, the mind games, I guess, can kind of come up, but whatever. And yeah, on your opponent's turn, you can make a Dark Law at any moment. And you can also summon the Shining Neos Wingman. Again, I don't really know the cards of the name of those cards. So yeah, that's like 6 interruptions or something. You got DPE to pop something, Dark Law that can pretty much is a Macrocosmos and also banish a random card from your opponent's hand. This can destroy multiple cards on the field depending on the amount of different attributes among the monsters on the field. So you got Light and Dark always by default. And then your opponent might have like some Fire, Earth, Water, Wind monsters, so he can destroy even more cards. And then obviously Plasma is a skill drain, which is, I mean, it carries you on its own. And the Neos Lord, which can steal monsters, you know, right away. And also Super Poly, and whatever else you had in your hand, because this was a 4-card combo, which is still a lot, but whatever. This combo can get even better if you can keep the extra hero Wonder Driver up. And then when you go for Mass Change, you can reset it back. Get back your Miracle Fusion or whatever, so that you have a follow play for next turn. It's not too bad. There's a lot of things that you can do in this deck. Obviously, this is just a rough draft because I am not a hero expert. Like I said, I tried my best. So 3 Ferris, 3 Hero Lives, 3 Fusion Destiny. I just think that these are some of the best cards that you can draw in this deck, so that's the reason why I'm maxing them out at 3. And then 2 Stratos and 2 Vion, which are like some of the biggest normal summons. I mean, if you draw Vion and you also have Ferris, then you can discard the Vion, so summon the Ferris, so it's not too bad. But Stratos usually takes up your normal summon. You don't want to play too many copies because if you draw too many Stratoses and then you get impermed on Stratos, then you can't really do too much. But I don't think a lot of people will be even imperming the Stratos. I think they might hold it for the Ferris. So yeah, maybe it can still work in your favor. 2 Dusted Gold, I think if you play 3, it's gonna break because it's a hard once per turn. And honestly, it doesn't really do too much on its own. It really just searches a Dark Fusion or a card that mentions it. Which obviously there is a lot of nice targets now because there's also the Doom Prison. But all those cards are searchable by other means, so I'd rather diversify my options by playing a lot of 1-ofs, just like in the anime. So we're really trying to be just like Jaden, instead of playing just a bunch of 3-ofs like a... You know, like the Snake Eye deck, for example, 3 Snake Eye Ash, 3 Bonfire, 3 Wanted, 3 Witch. Yeah, this is completely different deck building, which again is the reason why I really struggle to make this. But yeah, speaking of which, one Evil Hero Doom Prison, this card is, I think, more than enough as a 1-of because it's super easy to access, but it's a good card on its own. It does a lot. One Shadow Mist, this card is also not really super desirable to draw, but I guess you can still discard it with Ferris. The only issue is that you can only use 1 effect per turn, only once that turn. So if you discard it to search, then you can't revive back and then search your Mass Change, which is a little annoying. So basically, you're gonna have to say goodbye to Dark Law. But if you draw Mass Change on top, then it doesn't really matter too much. You can use your Mass Change to summon Dark Law at any moment. 3 Malicious, obviously that's a given. This is another obvious 3-of. 1 Denara, which you do not have to play. This is not mandatory. Want to play it just because I'm playing Fusion Destiny. So for me, it makes sense. But if you don't play Fusion Destiny, then you should not play Denier. 1 Plasma, yeah, obviously that's also a given. Liquid Soldier, great card for its 2 effects. So on normal summon, it's a monster reborn for a level 4 or lower hero monster, or when it's sent to the graveyard or banished as a fusion material. The fact that it also triggers when it gets banished means that it synergizes with Miracle Fusion, as well as obviously Polymerization. You can draw 2 cards and discard 1, but again, just like Shadow Mist, you can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn, which is, again, so annoying. The fact that they have those restrictions really keeps the hero deck away from being, like, super broken, but I guess that was done on purpose. I don't know. Now we've got Evil Hero Toxic Bubble. You can special summon this card pretty much for free at any moment, but then it locks you under hero monsters only for the rest of the turn, which is completely fine. We only play hero monsters, and if you control a fusion monster that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion, you can draw 2 cards. So it's a reference to Bubble Man. It's a good card. But as a 1-of, it's way more than enough. As a matter of fact, you can even cut it, because if you don't have that fusion monster that mentions Dark Fusion, it doesn't really do too much other than just summoning itself. 1 Evil Hero Infernal Rider. This card, the more I think about it, the more I realize how cuttable it is. These 2 cards, I think you can just live without them, but I don't know, maybe you still want to play this one. It searches Dark Fusion, which I think there's a lot of ways to search it anyways. I don't really think you need it too much for its graveyard effect either to set Super Poly, because you're usually locked under hero monsters only, so even if you can get access to Super Poly, it's not like you can go into Garura and Muddragon, which are like the best targets. You really have to go for like maybe the evil hero monsters, such as this one right here, the Dark Knight, using a Fiend and a Warrior. Even though it can only be special summoned with Dark Fusion, this also has the extra effect of bypassing that and allowing you to summon any of those monsters that require Dark Fusion without Dark Fusion, just like the Supreme King's Castle field spell. And yeah, double increase, this has the exact same logic as Gem Knight Garnet, so the reason why people play 2 increase is not because it's a good card, but rather because it's such a terrible card that if you draw it and you draw Ferris, then you do absolutely nothing. So worst case, you draw increase and Ferris, you discard increase, and then you can still get a second increase. Again, it would have been fantastic if this card could also place increase from your hand, then you would have 1 less brick in your deck, but it is what it is. Again, everything has been done on purpose just to force you to play those bad ratios in the hero deck. It's all calculated. And yeah, speaking of bad cards, again, Sinister Necrom, it's not good to draw, but it can be a great discard fodder for Theris, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. And Elemental Hero Neos, which obviously does nothing on its own, it's a normal monster, but it's still a really good card overall. It's really easy to search with the extra Hero Infernal Devicer, and also it's a fusion material to make the Neos Lord, and also off of Favored Contact when you're trying to make the Shining Neos Wingman. Great interruption on the opponent's turn, and also it bypasses, I mean, it plays around Dark Ruler, drop it at all those cards because you summon it at any moment on your opponent's turn after you get hit by those board breakers. But I don't think it's really possible to build Hero without this card just because of how many cards reference it. So I don't know, maybe it's kind of like the Blue Eyes for Blue Eyes or Cyber Dragon for Cyber Dragon. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. And then finally, the Mass Change, Polymerization, Miracle Fusion, Dark Fusion, those cards are super obvious. They're the way you summon your fusion monsters. For the non-engine, 3 Droplet, 3 Imperm, and the new Evil Hero card. So we got Evil Assault. This card's not super ideal. It reads, discard 1 card, take 1 level 4 lower Evil Hero monster from your deck, and either add it to your hand or special summon it, and then it locks you under hero monsters for the rest of the turn. And then in the graveyard, except during the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, and then recycle back a Dark Fusion from your graveyard to your hand. I guess that effect is fine, but it's not a card that you're trying to draw as a multiple either, because otherwise it's going to force you to discard another copy of itself. So it's not super great, and all it really does is either search a Dusted Gold or special summon Doom Prison, or even special summon the Toxic Bubble. But it's not even like you have that many options anyways, because it has to be a level 4 or lower. It's not like any evil hero. Then you could have summoned Sinister Necrom or Infernal Rider. Would have been a little better. And then Dark Contact, this card is kind of like the opposite of Dark Fusion. It is treated as Dark Fusion, but it requires the materials to be from the field, graveyard, or banished, and it shuffles them back into the deck. So you can also recycle back some resources with it. It's not too bad. Or you can also search Dark Fusion with this card, which I don't really think you're going to be doing too often. And then, yeah, that last card is going to be Dark Supremacy, which can negate a bunch of cards, and it's super easy to search using the Infernal Backlash. We have 44 cards in the main deck. It's, again, very tricky to deck build and make this deck close to a 40-card deck. As a matter of fact, I don't even think it's possible. I think the closest, maybe can go to like 42, something like that, but 40 in the hero, nah. Unless you really like sacrifice all of your non-engine, but then going second is going to be a pain in the ass. And you can't really play Super Poly just at 3 just because the extra deck space is super tight, and you're usually locked under heroes like I said. Anyways, for the extra deck, Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. I think that's a great card. Evil Hero Neos Lord, obviously a great card. It's a Evil Hero Monster new support. Shining Neos Wingman that you summon off of Favorite Contact. Evil Hero Malicious Bane, great going second at breaking boards. Acid, this is summoned off of Mass Change, usually using Absolute Zero. So you can destroy every monster your opponent controls and every spells and traps your opponent controls. It's a really nice combination of hero monsters that work with each other. And yeah, you can summon this using the Liquid Soldier or the Toxic Bubble. So the fact that you have water monsters in your deck really helps out. DPE, yeah, obviously off of Fusion Destiny, but you can also summon it with Polarization. Apparently that is better, but yeah, DPE is just a great card. I think it's one of the MVPs of the extra deck. Absolute Zero, obviously, a fantastic card. Infernal Rage, you can search anything that mentions, well, Favorite. Actually, it has to have Favorite in its name, but it can also recycle back from the graveyard. So yeah, Favorite Contact, very easy to search. And then the Evil Hero Dark Knight. This card can kind of make you mitigate the impact of Nibiru, because if this face-up special summoning card in its owner's control leaves the field by opponent's card, you can target one Fiend or Warrior monster in your grave, special summon it in defense. So if you get nibbed while you have like DPE, after you try to use this effect, then you can still revive back DPE, so it's not like the end of the world. And then, yeah, Elemental Hero Sunrise, which is Miracle Fusion, it's a must, and it also is a very good going second at breaking boards. Dark Law, Infernal Backlash, and for the extra deck, we got Wonder Driver, resets back your fusion spell cards, your Polymerization, or your Mass Change. And then the extra hero Infernal Devicer. All it really does is search Neos and also boost the attack of your Fiend monsters it points to by a little bit, but it's not really significant. And the extra hero Cross Crusader, really good card, and it makes Fusion Destiny even better. And for the idea section, not really that it matters, but I got Reinforcement of the Army, which you don't necessarily need because, like I said, the deck is very consistent as it is. Foolish Burial, extra extender. I don't know if you really need it too much. Call by the Grave, it doesn't fix the Nibiru issue, so I don't think Call by the Grave is ideal. Dark Calling, this card is not bad. It's also like a Miracle Fusion, but it's treated as Dark Fusion, so it's not like terrible, but I don't think you need it either. The field spell, this card's not good, honestly. it doesn't do much on its own. I mean, as a matter of fact, it does nothing on its own. You're gonna have to wait until like battle phase to like Foolish and Evil Hero monster from deck or extra deck to the grave, and then it boosts the attack of your monster. Who cares about that, honestly? The Dark Angel, yeah, this card's cool. It can stop like Dark Ruler, but it makes Droplet even better because now your opponent will also have like one extra card to send off of Droplet, so it's not necessarily worth it. And also, if your opponent plays like Relinquished Anima, then you're screwed because all of this for nothing. But it might be good to side deck, depending on the deck that you're facing. It's really good against Despia, for example. And it also protects you from evenly matched, so maybe it might be worth playing. But again, it loses really hard to Droplet, so maybe if you also already have Dark Law on the field, then your opponent cannot use Droplet, so it's a really good soft lock. And your opponent cannot crash it, I think, if there is a way to summon it on your opponent's turn, because then you summon it in defense, and then he can't put it into attack and then go battle phase. So yeah, it's just a really good card. This card is Master Blast. You can summon it on using Mass Change on Stratos to dodge Imperim, but I don't think it's needed. Dangerous, another target instead of DPE, but DPE is just so much better. Garura Muddragon, extra deck space is super tight, and either way, you can usually not really summon them, and that would force you to play 3 Super Volley, so it's not worth it. Extra Hero Dread Decimator, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a Link 3 that just boosts your monsters and deals piercing damage. It doesn't do that much, so I don't think this is needed either. And then we got Talent and Evil Assault, another copy for no good reason. I don't even know why this is here. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about the hero deck with the new support in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.